one of the biggest fans that I know of. You should have seen his truck. I mean, completely Redskins. I mean, he would go to every game. He had it showed his room. It was a huge thing, full of jerseys, everything,
Right.
red. And I didn't blame him for being upset. And the fact is, it does put the Indians on the map.
Well,
And yeah, I did read that.
how you doing, team?
In fact, there was and I've got a little Cherokee Indian. I mean, it. I think they were proud. You know.
How you doing, team? How you doing today?
Good day, sir.
Good. How's everything?
Hey,
I am
what's
back.
going on?
So
Are you
I
back?
didn't go to the training camp because it was too hot. I had a heat stroke, mild heat stroke, yesterday, but I'm doing fine.
Oh,
I'm glad to have both of you on. We got Steve and we got the coach Marilyn here. Great day for sports. 100%. Let me tell you before we start. Welcome to the DMV Sports Show. I'm your host, Rasul McGee. It's Saturday. That's right, it's Saturday. Hear the sports that you want to hear on your weekend, as you should, with the best night host of the planet, Rasul McGee. So we got a great lineup for everybody to hear and a great lineup for you to comment about. So we're going to talk about the Washington Commanders training camp. We'll also talk about the ownership. We're going to talk about what they said and what that really means going forward. We're going to talk about the Baltimore Orioles and the Yankees. I know Lou is not up here, but he will be, and we get to hear what Lou says. We're going to talk about the Washington Wizards, which is probably not much. I have nothing to say other than we're going to lose this year. We're we're going to talk.
I'm sorry.
We're going to talk about the Washington Nationals as well, and finally, we're going to talk about the USA men's soccer team and a disappointing year for them again. Before we do that as well, we're going to use the call number 512-543-4662. I say again, 512-543-4662. Make sure you state your name for the record and who you represent in this sports world. So let's get it started. We are talking about the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders have really got a really great report from Chase Young. Chase Young is actually doing pretty well on defensive end, which means that he will not be traded, and he will probably be kept for his sixth option next year.
Yeah.
I like that. That is a smart move. I think the ownership sees that this guy is really, really good, and we should not get him away. That's one.
He's also a people person.
He is a great people person. He is a motivator within the team, and he's a motivator off the team. I think he should be kept. Second thing, I think the second thing I love to hear is the ownership wants this to be a winning franchise. They knew the last owner only wanted partial credit when it comes to the Cowboys. Here's the problem. I don't think this ownership is the last ownership. I think this ownership has a strategy to make this a winning fourth Super Bowl franchise. Here's why. They see the fans. The fans are the key. So what they do, they hype up the fans to the point they need to keep hyping up the fans. They hyped up the fans, and turnout came. They hype up the fans even more. Training camp, more hype fans came. Now, they're thinking about keeping the name until 5 years and then returning it to the Red Wolves. Perfect. That's all I'm saying. At least we have a consensus of where the name should be and not Commanders. But that's another thing. This is my final point, then I'm going to get you guys to comment. The defense and offense are 100% intact, except for the quarterback. We still out on the quarterback. We got Louis Tenor here. Welcome, Lou. How you doing?
Thank you, Rizal.
Hey, welcome, man. He's the host of the DIDNT Sports Show that begins at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check him out. Lou, we were just going over the categories and titles of this, of the show, and we just started with the Commanders. Now that the Commanders have new ownership, and this is for everybody, not just for Lou. We're gonna start with after I finish this, we're gonna start with Coach Lou and then Steve. But now that everything is in place and you see turnout upon turnout, do you think there will be more fans in the stand than opponents? Let's go with Coach.
Who's me or Luke?
You're the Lou's not the coach. You're the coach.
Right.
Oh well, I don't mean it like that, Lou. Come on, man. Listen. You could be coach. You could be the second coach. All right.
No, actually, I saw so many fans, and I even posted it. There was a video, and Chase was going down, and it's like they said, he's a people person. I mean, they were going bananas, and there were a lot of things. They showed the difference between last year
Yes.
and this year.
Yes.
I mean, they're anxious. Hey, here's our team. We got rid of, we're going to be back. We're going to be back, man. It's going to be awesome. I think we're going to have more fans than the opponent.
I believe so too. Lou, what do you think?
Well, if the turnout for training camp was any indication, I think you're right with me here. I mean, 10,000 fans showed up just for practice. And,
yes.
I think I think they were a welcome release, after since the Wicked Witch last week. So I think you're on the up and up here. I mean, 10,000 fans, just not even a preseason game, but it's just a practice. So they're obviously doing something right, and I think I see some positive vibes playing with the team here. So I think you're on something good.
I think so too. I believe that.
I think so.
I think the turnout is good for the organization, especially the new organization. And in a heat of 102 degrees, these fans stood in line for an autograph. That says something. It also says something that they should watch their health because the heat is nothing to play with. But if you look at how dedicated this fan base is about turning over a new leaf and not settle for the status quo, I can understand where that's coming from. I believe this is a great thing for the morale of the team as well as the morale of the fans. Steve, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll bring it out.
To me, I'm like Lou. The Wicked Witch is dead. The Wicked Witch is gone out of him. And all his cronies, we agree with that 2 weeks ago, 100%. You know what? We got people who care about the fans. If it wasn't for the fans, you wouldn't have the Washington Redskins / Commanders / another new team next year. So I'm ecstatic. I'm very happy. I can wear my burgundy and go with pride this year. Like I said, the first year is going to be rebuilding, but the second and third year, we should be able to go to a Super Bowl or a championship game.
I think so too. I think here's the great thing about today. We get to see Cam Curls. Cam Curl is back on the field, and he's actually picking off interceptions, leaving where he left off. We see Emmanuel Sanders make Scary Terry frustrated. We get to see Johan Dotson Chris Rodriguez, Antonio Gibson, and the new recruits, and see how how they're doing. And then what you see is other teammates, right, who are already on the team also getting better. So there's a lot of positives happening here. So there's a lot of enthusiasm and expectations starting to fly off on the whim. That's what we ask for as fans. Opportunity to show your talent and don't relinquish, any type of, weakness to your opponent. What I'm really hyped to see is how they're going to implement all of this. Now, Johan Dotson said on, I think one of the interviews with Fred Smoot and London Fletcher, and he said he doesn't want to get off the field. He wants to be implemented in all plays. He wants to be such a dynamic player that they can't figure him out, right? So just imagine how they're going to use I'm really excited to also see Kashmir Allen, the guy from UCLA, who is a kickoff returner / wide receiver. Just imagine how they use him like they use Antonio Gibson and Johan Dotson. Imagine what they do on 3rd down and 5, 3rd down and 6, or 3rd down and 2 if they want to get to that 2-yard first down instead of using stacks. So they can use 3 wide receiver set. So there's so many possibilities in this offense. But you got to understand. Now, this is not me, and I know how y'all feel about me mentioning this, but it's a concern. They're still worried about Sam Howell and how well he's going to do. And only time could tell in the first preseason game. Now, I know my concerns, and I don't expect you to agree with me. I know there's a lot of tape out there that says he's doing well, but there's a lot of tape out there that says he's not doing well. His arm, again, I'm going to reassure everybody up here, it's not his arm, it's not his legs, and it's not him throwing to the wide receivers. It's the decision-making in doing that is costing him to understand the offense. Now, Eric Bieniemy, point well taken, had got after him not once, not twice, but several times. But what I'm seeing is the good thing I'm not seeing out of him is hesitation. That's number one. Number two is the greatest thing not out of Sam Howell is nervousness. So those are the two things I'm fine with.
He's not a nervous person.
Correct. That's the point I'm getting out. I don't see that. So therefore there's no worrying about that. But when you're in a game such as we are going to be, week 2 is going to be heavy because we're going to travel to Baltimore and play the Ravens, not once, but twice. And to see the maturity in those 2 games is going to be either good for him or bad for him. So the question.
We keep the game to play.
No, so the Baltimore is a scrimmage, so it's more like a training sessions with an experienced team to see what the players are going to do and how they react in a real game. So those scrimmages are very good for your team when you're practicing versus your team. Now all your team is going to be on the other side of the field, while your opponent is going to be on the other side trying to scheme against you. So what you're doing is you're trying to get the feeling of how an NFL experience game is for the new players. For the old players who just came in and who were acquired to play for the team, are get the feel of how the playbook and this team vibe together. So it's new for everybody, right? And how we vibe connect is very important. So this is why the Baltimore game is more important to connect. Same thing with the Ravens. The Ravens are the same way. So My question is, now that we got all that out, who will shine more, offense, defense, or special teams? We're going to go with Lou, Steve, and then the coach, Maryland.
I'm going to say defense.
Defense, good. And why? And let me ask why.
Well, I think that you need to sharp up this defense. I think they've been lacking in that. So I think, with all the recent acquisitions and change of ownership, they want to work on the defensive side. They really use it. I think they gave up a lot of points last year, so I think they're more needed. But
that's a
defensive type team.
That is a good point, Lou. All right, Steve, what do you think?
I'm gonna say defense as well because last season, even though we was the number 3 ranked defense in the NFL, our pass defense was ranked 22nd, and he fit the bill by picking up two cornerbacks, a linebacker, and a defensive end that is quick, light, and fast from Clemson. That it's gonna make a better team for us.
I totally agree with that. And don't forget Khalid Hudson, too. Khalid Hudson has been showing amazing ability in this training camp. So I think there's going to be a lot of talk about him being on the team. What do you think, Coach?
Well, I am for the defense. I know. But the fact is, and I want to answer, they did let go one of our offensive linemen.
Yeah, that guy was Norwell. Andrew Norwell was okay, but he was a problem maker. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. When he takes on an opponent, he's supposed to drive the opponent to the ground, but you don't punch him in the gut while he's on the ground, and then have the ref throw a flag. That's on call for. You don't need to do all that. I like his toughness, but you can't do that. I mean, you could pancake him, but you don't still pancake him and then hit him in the ribs. Like, come on, man, come on, dude.
Yeah. You don't need to do that.
That's too much. We're trying to win a game, not cost it. Yeah. So Norwell was.
What they should do in that offense is protect Howell.
Right.
That's it.
Well,
protect him.
Well, in this case, Hal needs to know when to bootleg, know when to, when he sees the pocket collapsing, run out for first down. Most quarterbacks, they try to leak out during the side, the side of the rush. While if you see an opening up front, do not let the DT grab on you and sack you. You're more elusive. Run, right? You don't sit there and do that. And that's my problem. Is he going to know that?
Off, man.
Yeah, is he going to know that?
Like a bat out of hell.
Well, yeah, something like that. But but if you see two defenders coming at you, you don't do stuff like that. Yeah, you just don't allow yourself to be bait. Yeah, target, something like that. Because you do that, guess what? They're gonna be hunting for you. And that's my problem with his decision making. Is he gonna know? Is he gonna know when to bootleg? Is he gonna know when to scramble up 30, 20 yards? Because look at Daniel Jones of the Giants. Daniel Jones has been scrambling perfectly when he knows that the pocket is collapsing, right? So is he going to know that when our pocket collapse? I mean, he's done it before, but the problem is we're going against a Dallas Cowboy team that was resting its players. All right. So I mean that's just my way of
You're
thinking.
making us sound bad. That ain't right.
No. Let me clarify that. Hold on. Time out. I don't want that narrative to hit. To go across the airwaves. The reason why I'm saying this is because Sam Howell is new to the NFL NFC East. He only knows the Dallas Cowboys. He only knows he only knows the Dallas Cowboys.
When I watched him when he played college.
Yeah.
Later, he was good, and I believe that he's going to do it.
Well, here's the thing. That I'm glad that you brought the college portion up. College football is heavily planned, especially the ACC. ACC, you know who you're going against. You know how they play. You know what they do. You know the trickery. You know all that. But do they know you? Here in the NFL, it's much quicker.
You're talking about one of my best teams, my favorite team.
Yeah, well, Virginia Tech. No, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Marilyn. Listen. Virginia Tech and North Carolina Tar Heels. They battle it out. They know each other a little bit. They got used to each other. They pull up the tape. Other teams don't know us, but they see weakness in our offense and they explode it. Do I need to bring up teams that exploited us when we have a rookie quarterback? I can go through years of tape in my head and bring up quarterbacks that were young, who just came out of college, who were just signed by us, and been after the training camp, they were placed into a first game and lost miserable. I can give you those names. I'm just concerned. And Steve knows. Steve knows what I'm talking about. I know. I shouldn't be bringing up the past. I get it, but we statistically.
We need to give our quarterback confidence.
Well, the only way we can give him confidence if he starts playing lights out. If he starts playing lights out, then there should be no. Yeah. What do you want me to say? I can only give you my truth. I can only give you. I already know. I already know what you're gonna say, but I can only give you my truth. Okay. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do for all three of you. This is what I'm going to do. First game, preseason game. All right.
Yeah.
He's gonna go against, I believe it's the Browns, right? Let's see. Hold on. Let me pull up the schedule.
It's going to be on TV.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be on TV. It's going to be on Channel 4 or Channel 9 or Channel 7. I think it's probably going to be 4. Hold on.
It's on 7.
Preseason game is against the Browns in Cleveland. The second one is in Baltimore, and the third one is in Cincinnati on the 26th. So the 11th on my birthday, we're going to be in Cleveland. Preseason number 2 is going to be the 20 in 10 days. That's going to be in Baltimore. No, it's actually going to be here. Excuse me. It's going to be here. And then the Bengals is going to be here on the 26th. So it's going to be 3 games where he's going to start. And it's going to be night and day. No, all night games. Excuse me. 7:30, 8 o'clock, and 6 p.m. for the last one. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait to see how he does in the first preseason game. I'm going to stop, letting y'all talk, hearing me talk about Sam Howell. You won't hear Sam Howell until after the first game. All right. Deal?
That's a deal.
All right. Deal. All right. So this team offensively and defensively are looking good. Special teams, I haven't seen yet, but I'm waiting for them to put them on the TV as
I
well.
expect them to be good.
I expect them to be awesome because it's Kashmir Allen. I really believe that they're going to shine with that special player.
Yep.
Let's go around the NFL. All right. So I've been looking at the Jets, and the Jets are starting to put everything together, which is shocking because now they have defense and offense and an offensive line. The one thing I started to look at previously was the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons have the additions of a really, really balanced team. They don't have a defense yet, but they do have an offense.
Yep.
So they go against Dolphins preseason 1, August 11. They go against the Bengals on the 18th, which is 7 days in a week. And then after those 7 days, they seek the Steelers on probably Friday. Yep, 7:30. So the first game,
Which Friday?
the second Friday of the 18th.
Yeah. Okay.
So here's where the first game is Thursday. Jets and the Browns in Cleveland. That's the Hall of Fame game. Lou, what do you think? Who's going to win?
Well, I hate to sound biased. I'm going to go Jets.
The Jets. Steve, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with the Jets as well. They want to look good, whether preseason or regular season.
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate. What do you think, Coach? Do you think the Jets are going to beat the Browns in Cleveland?
That's hard to say. I don't know how the Browns are, teaming up. I wish I did.
Well, they have a quarterback by the name of Deshaun Watson.
Who?
Deshaun Watson, former Texan quarterback.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. So yeah, it's
Call from OFC Yusuf.
hold on one second. So it's a lot of things that we tend to do here is the reception. The reception is real bad. But yeah, the Browns have a really they sort of tweaked their offense. They added some new pieces. I don't think it's enough to put them over the edge, but I see them going to the playoffs. But I don't see them going past the playoffs. You know?
Okay.
Call from plus
I hear
15
ya.
billion
You think the
714
Jets will?
million 236,684.
Hold on 1 second. What's up, bro? Yeah, don't sign this paperwork. Tell him that he's gonna have to restack it. If he returns it, don't sign it. If he says he want to return it, let the night supervisor know, and then and see what he says, and then you tell the driver. First, go talk to the night supervisor, and then let him know. Is Jordan there? Yeah, he should be there. Today's Saturday. Okay, tell him he has to restack it. Yeah. All right. Bye. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, that happens, folks. It's one of those things. But as I said, I don't think the Browns have the pieces to go to the Super Bowl, but they do have pieces to make it to a playoff game or two. But they would have to get real lucky with Deshaun Watson. If Deshaun Watson, the switch turns on and he becomes Super Mario and start throwing the football all around, then it's all that they wrote. It's just a matter of time. So let's go ahead and continue on moving forward. Let's go to the Washington Wizards. I really don't want to talk about this team. And the reason why I don't want to talk about this team is because this team disappoints me. And what's funny about this team is that they believe with the acquisition of Poole and Kuzma, Poole is the guy who played on the side of Steph Curry and shoots a lot of threes. Yeah, Jordan Poole. Yeah, I don't say his first name. I just say Poole.
Okay.
Yeah, but Jordan Poole. Now I like Jordan Poole. Don't get me wrong. I like his ability to shoot threes, go behind the arc. I believe he's a elite player. I believe that, with an addition of a Kuzma, he could have been a 100% asset. But he would also have been a great asset with Bradley Beal there. Porzingis, he could eventually, we could have been a playoff team. It's just stupid that. Hello?
You can have Porzingis.
We scared of spending money. That's what's wrong with us, the Wizards.
Okay. Write down the number, and then I'll let Isaac know on Monday. All right, bro. Thanks. So, how can I say this? If you look at what is it? If you look at our stats, we could have had Bradley Beal, Porzingis, Poole, Kuzma. Poole comes off the bench, makes 20 points. We're in the playoffs. I mean, because I think we finished below 500. We could have been 44 and 40.
Yeah.
44 and 40.
think their coach is going to be good enough to get them going?
No. I think he's going to be good enough for them to uh, win at least maybe 20 games and lose 50. You know, because you're dealing with improved playoff teams from last year. You're dealing with Miami, Boston, Toronto, Pacers, Detroit, Dallas. You're, Utah, Phoenix, definitely Phoenix, Clippers. Who else? Brooklyn Nets, Atlanta Hawks. I know I'm missing another team. All the East teams. We might catch them on their worst day. We'll probably win a lucky game here. We might go on a 2-game winning streak. That's fine. I have no problem with a 2-game winning streak. Yeah, but that's not going to be like the highlight of their life. You know, they're probably going to lose 50 games. That's going to be the highlight of their season. And then they're like, wow, we have young talent. That's the cop out, right? They know they're going to suck, right? And they're going to be like, oh, that's because we have a young roster team who's learning. But you're teaching them a losing culture. To win, you have to battle. You have to know how to battle. If you just going like, oh, he shot 10 points, he had a 13 assists and 5 rebounds. That's not an accomplishment. That's a daily game, right? A highlight is
The
scoring.
more rebounds they get, better.
Exactly. When they excel over 10, when they sell over 20, that's an accomplishment. That's a win. But you can't say that 5 rebound, 10 points is a
I don't know. I don't think he'll make 63, 64 in the AL this season. I think he's beginning to wear down a bit.
Right. Well, what do you think, Marilyn?
Orioles.
There you go.
I love the way they stepped up.
There you go.
I mean, they're, and you know what? If they keep on, they're going to be there. They're going to be there. But I'm hoping, and the best is who's going to win out.
Right. So check this numbers out, everybody. Listen to this. We got the Orioles winning losses, and I'm going to read their home and away record. Check this out. Baltimore Orioles 63-40 with a percentage of .612. There's in the last 10 games, they're 6-4 with a streak of 1 game. Their home game is 31-20. Their away game is 32-20. And listen to the Yankees. The Yankees are 54-49 with a percentage of .524. And they're 9 games back, 3.5 games from the wild card. And their home game is 32-24, and their away game is 22-25. So there's a dramatic difference in these two baseball teams. Here is the funny thing about this. Baltimore Orioles are first place, and Tampa Bay was first place, but their record is 63-43 with a percentage of .594, 1.5 games back, and 4 games ahead in the wild card race. There are, in the last 10 games, they're 3-7. They were number 1 in winning streaks this year. Their differential was astounding, plus 142. Their home game is 37-19, and their away game is 26-24, which means that in away games, they have lost more than what they played at home. Amazing. And now this team is balanced, like I told you. For the Baltimore Orioles, they win on the road more than they win at home. It's